The morning sun had just begun to burn the fog off Maple Avenue when Marcus Reed turned the key in his car. The engine of the dark blue sedan hummed to life, smooth and familiar. Marcus paused for a second, breathing in the smell of old leather and coffee from the cup holder. It was going to be a long day. He adjusted his rearview mirror and straightened his jacket. The jacket wasn't flashy plain black worn at the cuffs, but it carried weight. Inside pocket tucked close to his chest was his badge. Detective Marcus Reed, Major Crimes Unit, 15 years on the force, countless nights without sleep, more cases than he could remember. Right now, though, he was just a black man sitting in a parked car in a quiet neighborhood. Marcus pulled away from the curb slowly. He had barely driven half a block when red and blue lights exploded behind him, flashing against the windows of nearby houses. A siren chirped once, sharp and commanding. Marcus sighed. "Of course," he muttered, easing the car to the side of the road. He checked his mirrors, rolled down his window, and placed both hands on the steering wheel. Experience had taught him caution, too much caution, not from criminals but from moments like this. A police cruiser stopped behind him, the door opened, heavy footsteps approached. "Driver, turn off the engine," a voice barked. Marcus complied calmly. The engine went silent. "Hands where I can see them." "They are," Marcus said evenly, lifting them a little higher on the wheel. Officer Brad Collins stopped beside the window. He was white, mid-30s, broad shoulders straining against his uniform. His hand rested on his holster, fingers tight. "License and registration," Collins said. Marcus nodded slowly. "They're in my wallet and glove box. I'm going to reach for them." Collins' eyes narrowed. "Do it slowly." Marcus reached for his wallet first, careful, deliberate. He handed over his license. Collins looked at it, then back at Marcus. Something shifted in his expression, not relief, not recognition. Suspicion hardened into something colder. "Step out of the vehicle," Collins ordered. Marcus blinked. "May I ask why, officer?" "This car's been reported stolen," Collins said flatly. Marcus felt a flicker of heat in his chest, but his voice stayed calm. "That's my car." Collins laughed, short and humorless. "Yeah, and I'm the mayor. Step out now." Marcus slowly opened the door and stepped onto the pavement. A few curtains across the street twitched. People were watching. Collins moved fast. He grabbed Marcus' arm, twisted it behind his back, and snapped a cuff around his wrist. "Hey, easy," Marcus said through clenched teeth. "There's no need for that." "Stop resisting," Collins snapped, though Marcus hadn't moved. "I'm not resisting." Collins shoved him against the car, slamming the hood into Marcus' chest. Pain flared, sharp and familiar, too familiar. "Hands behind your back." "They already are," Marcus said. The second cuff clicked shut. Cold metal bit into his skin. "This is unnecessary," Marcus said quietly. "Run the plates again, call it in." "I already did," Collins said. "Vehicle matches the description, you fit the profile." Marcus turned his head slowly. "What profile is that?" Collins leaned closer. "The kind that steals cars in neighborhoods like this." That was when anger finally broke through Marcus' calm, not explosive, not loud, but deep and heavy. "Officer," Marcus said, "you are making a serious mistake." Collins smirked. "Sure I am." He pushed Marcus toward the cruiser and opened the back door. As Marcus sat down, the door slammed shut with finality. Inside the cruiser, the air smelled like plastic and old sweat. Marcus stared straight ahead, jaw tight. His heart was pounding, not from fear but from something worse, humiliation. He had worked too hard for this, given too much. Across the street, an elderly woman stepped onto her porch, her face tight with concern. A man walking his dog slowed, watching silently. Collins stood outside, speaking into his radio. "Suspect in custody, possible auto theft." Marcus closed his eyes for a moment. He thought of his mother, who used to tell him to be twice as careful, twice as calm, twice as good. He thought of his partner, Detective Alina Ruiz, who had joked just yesterday about him finally taking a vacation. He thought of the badge in his pocket. Minutes passed. Collins opened the back door again. "All right," he said, "we're heading to the station." "No," Marcus said calmly, "we're not." Collins raised an eyebrow. "Excuse me." Marcus met his eyes. "Check my jacket pocket, inside left side." Collins hesitated, then scoffed. "Trying something." Just telling you where my badge is. The air seemed to freeze. Collins stared at him for a long second, then laughed. That's a good one. Check, Marcus said. Another patrol car pulled up. A second officer stepped out, a woman with sharp eyes and a calm face. Officer Dana Lee. What's going on? She asked. Guy stole a car, Collins said, claims it's his, now says he's a cop. Officer Lee looked at Marcus more closely, really looked, at his posture, his calm, his eyes. Is that true? She asked Marcus. Yes, Marcus said, Detective Marcus Reed, Major Crimes. Silence stretched. Officer Lee glanced at Collins. Did you verify that? He's lying, Collins snapped. You think they don't say that all the time? Marcus held Lee's gaze. My badge is in my jacket, serial number 7741, my supervisor is Captain Harris. Lee's expression changed. She stepped closer and reached into Marcus' jacket pocket, pulled out the badge. Her breath caught. Jesus, she whispered. Collins' face drained of color. This could be fake. Lee turned the badge over, checked the engraving, then she looked at Marcus' license again. It's real, she said, I recognize the name. Collins stepped back, shaking his head. No, that can't be right, dispatch said. Lee was already on her radio. Dispatch, confirmed Detective Marcus Reed, badge 7741. The response crackled through the speaker. Confirmed, Detective Reed is active, Major Crimes. The world seemed to tilt. Officer Lee moved fast. She opened the cruiser door fully and uncuffed Marcus, her hands trembling slightly. I'm so sorry, Detective, she said. Marcus rubbed his wrists, feeling the sting. He stepped out slowly. Collins stood frozen, eyes wide. I didn't know. Marcus turned to him, his voice was steady but there was steel underneath. You didn't want to know. Collins swallowed. I was just doing my job. No, Marcus said, you were doing your bias. A small crowd had gathered now. Phones were out, murmurs filled the air. Officer Lee cleared her throat. We need to, handle this properly. Marcus nodded. Yes, we do. He looked at Collins. You arrested me for stealing my own car, you used force without cause, you ignored procedure. Collins' hands shook. I can explain. Marcus stepped closer, meeting his eyes. You will to internal affairs. The ride to the station was quiet. This time Marcus sat in the front seat. At the precinct, word spread fast, heads turned, whispers followed. Captain Harris stormed out of his office, fury written across his face. Read. Marcus stopped. Sir. Harris looked at the marks on his wrists, his jaw tightened. My office now. The door slammed shut behind them. Marcus told him everything, every word, every shove, every insult hidden behind procedure. Harris listened in silence. When Marcus finished, Harris leaned back, eyes dark. This will not be swept away, he said, I promise you that. I don't want promises, Marcus said quietly, I want change. Harris nodded slowly, so do I. An hour later, Collins sat alone in an interview room staring at the table. His badge lay in front of him. Outside, Marcus stepped into the sunlight again, the same street, the same car, but something inside him had shifted. Elena Ruiz walked up beside him, heard what happened. Marcus nodded. She shook her head. You okay? Marcus looked at the sky, blue and endless. I will be. He opened his car door, then paused. He looked back at the neighborhood, at the people who had watched silently. This is why I do the job, he said softly, so one day maybe this won't happen to someone else. Elena smiled sadly. Good thing you're a detective. Marcus sat behind the wheel again, hands steady this time. He started the engine and drove forward, not just as a man, not just as a cop, but as someone determined to make the system face itself. The road stretched ahead, uncertain but open. And this time no lights followed him.